In a place called Tha Bak in Laos, there are a large number of small boats on the river, which are called bomb boats, bomb boat. However, they are not modified with bombs, but with aircraft auxiliary fuel tanks. Perhaps it is because the shape of the auxiliary fuel tank looks very similar to a bomb. In fact, the origin of the bomb boat is not a good thing for the local people. It can be traced back to the secret bombing operation by the US military from 1964 to 1973. This should be the most serious bombing operation in human history, involving the US Air Force 2nd Air Division and the Navy's Task Force 77. At that time, during the Vietnam War, although Laos was officially neutral, it was actually involved in many covert activities, which caused dissatisfaction from the US side. Therefore, aircraft were deployed for bombing, with an estimated total of about 260 million bombs dropped. According to estimates, there are still about 80 million unexploded cluster bombs remaining in the jungle, posing a great hazard to local production and life. Since the countries involved all maintained silence on the surface, this bombing operation did not spread worldwide for a long time. Due to Laos' special geographical environment as a landlocked country, the bombing route of the US military was quite long, and sometimes it was necessary to consider evading interception by enemy aircraft. The aircraft involved in the bombing often needed to carry auxiliary fuel tanks to extend their range. Taking the F-4 series fighter jet as an example, it can carry a large 600-gallon auxiliary fuel tank under the fuselage, or slightly smaller 370-gallon auxiliary tanks under the wings. Unlike conformal tanks, auxiliary fuel tanks are generally pointed at both ends to reduce aerodynamic drag and have the ability to be jettisoned quickly. The 370-gallon auxiliary fuel tank is about 6.1 meters long with a maximum diameter of 0.66 meters. When the top half is cut open, it is just like a small boat that can accommodate a few people or goods. The 600-gallon tank is slightly larger, with a length of about 6.6 meters and a larger diameter than the former, providing stronger carrying capacity. These bomb boats are lightweight and sturdy in structure, and the fact that they have been in use for so many years is the best proof. Although most of the auxiliary fuel tanks are deformed or damaged to varying degrees after landing due to impact, etc., the number discarded during the nearly 10 years of bombing operation is also quite substantial. It is always possible to find some in better condition, so why not use these free materials? Currently, these bomb boats have become a feature in the Bak, and tourists can ride them locally. In terms of function, they are not particularly special, and most of the time, they still serve as water transportation for the local people. In fact, there are many places in the world where local people pick up and reuse discarded auxiliary fuel tanks. In some of our country's Air Force bases, there have also been cases of using discarded fuel tanks to make rooftop water tanks. The materials of the auxiliary fuel tanks are mostly fiberglass, metal, or plastic, and the manufacturing cost is not that high. Normally, pilots will try to discard them in uninhabited areas, as it is not cost-effective for the military to recover these auxiliary fuel tanks with little economic value and technical content, so it's better to let the local people pick them up at will.